Hello, I was at school the other day with my kids, and one of the parents came up to me. She knew that we were chiropractors and that we help with children in our office, and she asked me, hey, I gotta ask you, I've never heard of chiropractors helping with kids before for issues, and someone said you'd help their kid with ADHD issues. Do you mind if I ask you how that works? So, you know, it's hard when the kids are playing around quickly, you gotta give a 30-second explanation, but I thought I'd share what I told her as quickly as I can with you guys. So, number one, with chiropractic here, the reason it helps, the main issue is it addresses the neurology or the tone. So, for example, I have a rubber band here. Whether it's an adult or a child, if the body's tone or muscle tension is measuring high at rest, right? So if I have a muscle on my hand and it's relaxed, if I contract it, a lot more energy is needed by the brain to contract that muscle. You can measure that with a test like EMG, which we do in our office. So, but a lot of times these muscles are being contracted and that person's not telling their muscle to contract. It's just tight. The overall tone of the body is strained. Doesn't necessarily mean they're emotionally stressed. It just means that the body is in a stressed position. It might also mean that they're stuck in what we call a fight or flight state. So if we can measure that and see where their baseline is or where they're starting from, and then with those adjustments, with their very specific adjustments, and a lot of people think it's like, you know, we're jumping on kids or something. Like the adjustment for a child, this is my apple I ate this morning, would be about as much pressure as it would take to just slightly dent the skin of an apple. It doesn't take a lot of pressure to make those changes. They're very specific. Most of the kids laugh and think it's fun. A second thing that'll start to happen is that as that tone changes and we get pressure off of it, it's just like tuning up a guitar. The body's in a more relaxed state. They're going to come out of the fight or flight state, and almost immediately they're going to notice some sort of sleep improvement, whether it's an infant with colic to, you know, a grade school child with an ADHD issue. 3, it's going to start to improve their immunity. Anytime the body's not in that constant fight or flight state, their body's more likely to heal or sleep better. Its immune system will go up. They're very linear in that approach. Some of you may have heard that chiropractors help a lot with ear infections, and that is why. And then 4, it's just fun. You know, fortunately, we're in a position where we get to help without prescribing medications. And that's, I think, what all parents want, is try to fix something without having side effects first. So if you know someone who has a grade school student or high school student suffering from ADHD or some of the other things I talked about, ear infections, colic in infants, this is why this works. We're taking the tone down to a more relaxed state. We're measuring it with exams like EMG. It's fun and it's really quite easy. I know it can sound like magic. It's not. It's science. It's chiropractic. We're in Chicago. If you don't have, if you're not in Chicago or our suburbs, you know, send us an email. We're glad to find you a referral of someone who's also trained to work with pediatrics. That's the note for the day. And secret sauce is chiropractic.